Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, as you can guess, this is a new Guerlain unboxing. There is a new version of La Petite Robe Noire that was released in 2022. And I was really curious about it because it's supposed to have a lot of rose in the notes. So maybe you remember I've already unboxed and reviewed the last version, so La Petite Robe Noire Nectar, that was released last year. So I really enjoyed this version. It was more about the roses and the almond, and there was also this sweet touch brought by the honey note. But the honey was not animalic at all, and it was really pretty. I enjoyed it. Yeah, just a note aside, it's still working really well in this weather, in the winter weather. So I wore it lately also. So it could be another good comparison maybe, so I took my bottle with me. So let's jump now to the new release. So La Petite Robe Noire Rose Rose Rose. So I've read a little bit the, let's say, the speech about this fragrance on the website, and apparently it's supposed to have a trio of roses, which is quite new. In the sense that usually for La Petite Robe Noire they use the Bulgarian rose, which is really the heart of the fragrance, and also the Turkish rose. And in the usual version, let's say the regular La Petite Robe Noire Eau de Parfum, they have this licorice note that you don't have in this version and in this one also. I mention it because if you're like me and you don't really like licorice when it's really sweet, and this is something that you don't like in the regular La Petite Robe Noire version, maybe you would enjoy these versions. And I was also really interested because they talked about the fact that they were able to capture the scent of rose water, which is really volatile, and apparently they had this technique that allowed them, I don't know, to capture this scent. So I was really intrigued because I love the note of rose. And this time, so this is a trio of rose, and they introduced the rose de grace, so the centifolia rose in this fragrance. So it's supposed to be really centered about rose. This is not really a first impression because I sniffed it quickly in the shop, and yes, I think it won't be non-successful blind buy then. But I sniffed it just quickly, and yes, I enjoyed it so far. So we'll see. I'm gonna open the box and I'm gonna give you my first impressions. Yeah, my second impressions. Okay, so I've just sprayed it. This is the 50 ml bottle. So this time you have a 30 ml and 50 ml version of it. This is a limited edition, like the one from last year, a special for Valentine's Day, I suppose. I really like these little roses. This is supposed to represent, I believe, this trio of roses. It's really cute. So this one just have rose, rose, rose written on it, I believe, yeah, to make it different from the other ones. Okay, so let's talk about the scent now. Okay, so in the opening I still have this DNA from La Petite Robe Noire that you can recognize, this sweet rose with the... I had these citruses also on top that I really recognize this time. This is not something that I get, let's say, usually with the other ones. I don't really get these citruses on top, but I really get the bergamot this time. I got some sweet fruits, let's say red fruits, but I don't know really which ones. I believe there's still this cherry note. Yeah, I say I believe because my nose don't really recognize the cherry note usually in fragrances. What I get the most is something like red fruits and almond, and here I really get the almond and the red fruits. Now I get less and less the bergamot, and yes, I really get an explosion of roses. It's really hard for me to distinct which one I smell the most. But I can definitely tell you it's more about the roses than the other notes. I already have a hint of iris. More than a hint, which is a good surprise. I love iris, and here it's more prominent than in the other ones, in the other version. No hint of licorice, which is good for me because, yeah, sweet licorice is not something for me. except I would say in the Perfecto version, I really enjoyed it in that case, but I still prefer the floral Perfecto version. Yeah, it's really pretty. I really enjoy the quality of the rose in this one. It's really good. Yeah, I love the rose and almond combo with the iris here. It's really well made, yeah. Really, really pretty. So far I may even enjoy this one a little bit more than the one from last year that I still really like. But this one is really, really sweet, really syrupy sweet. This one is more, let's say, or less about the sweetness. It doesn't have the stickiness, let's say, that from the other one. And much more rose, for sure. But it's still youthful and playful because it still has somehow this La Petite Robe Noire DNA with the red fruits, with the cherry and the almond. But I would say it's maybe a bit more mature version of La Petite Robe Noire because you don't have this licorice note. But to me it smells also like a better, I don't know if it's possible to say that, but a better quality version of La Petite Robe Noire. Yeah, I'm really impressed lately by the quality of the fragrance that they release. I mean, I'm not talking about L'Art et la Matière here, but I'm talking about their regular line, their regular range. Like the last Shalimar I thought was a really good quality. And the last two La Petite Robe Noire smelled really, really good to me too. And here, yes, this one smells really good. For that price, compared to the L'Art et la Matière collection, yeah, this is really good. Okay, sorry, I had to cut because I didn't have enough space on my phone to film. I didn't check before, that's my fault. Okay, let's jump to the rest. Okay, on paper, okay, now the fragrance evolved in the meantime, so maybe that's not a bad thing. I have the rose now is less dominant, I would say, even if it's the dominant note of this fragrance, but I have maybe more iris, and I start to get something sweet, vanillic, maybe like vanilla or tonka beans. So it starts developing now on the paper. Yeah, it's really, really pleasant. I like that. On my skin, let's say, it works really well too, but I definitely get more iris now. Maybe more iris than the rose, which is strange. Yeah, because I have dry skin, so usually I jump quite quickly to the base notes on my skin. I really enjoyed the beginning with the bergamot and this overdose of rose and this little sweetness brought by the fruits and the almond note. I wish I could smell a bit more the almond, even at the dry down, but I still have it, but a bit less. Okay, let me spray it a little bit more. Yeah, I really like that one. I don't know what is the longevity because my skin seems to really eat this one up. Oh wow. Yeah, but I still believe this is really good quality for the price. So the rose is really playful, cheerful, airy, and sweet. Yeah, because for me this rose de grace, so this centifolia rose that they added is more airy, light, a little bit like dewy rose. Can you say that? You see dewy and fresh petals of a rose. This is really the rose that I prefer from the three. This is my preference, but because I like this freshness that is brought by the centifolia rose. And you really have it in this one, even if the heart of it is still the Turkish rose and the Bulgarian rose, which are really the signature of this fragrance. Yeah, a really good version. Definitely, I prefer this one to the regular one, and I may prefer it slightly more compared to the Nectar version. But still, this one has a good longevity, good projection, and it works really well in winter. So I will still be wearing it for winter, but this one maybe for spring will be a little bit better. But this is such a pretty one. I love this release. This is a love. See, I need to wear it to have a wear test to be sure, but so far, yes, this is definitely a love. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my second impressions of this fragrance. I hope also it will be available in your country. I don't know if this is something that will be only released in France. I don't think so. Tell me if this one was released also in your country. I don't know. I don't know if this is something that will be released only in my country, but for sure this is a limited edition. So if you love it, just grab it, because at some point it's gonna disappear like this one. So yeah, and I'm happy I get the 50 ml because I still have plenty of time to use it then. So voila, tell me also if you had the occasion to try it, or if maybe you already have it, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye!